Okay. All right. Well then, let's get this show on the road.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. See ya. Alrighty then. Ready?
It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell.
When the teacher
God.
pops a
Holy
test,
crap.
I know I'm in a mess. And my dog ate all my homework last night. But if I pop a note in my chair, she'll know that I'm there. And I can hand it in tomorrow. It'll be alright. Okay,
It's alright.
because I'm saved by the bell.
It's alright. We're just going to keep doing that in the middle of the show.
It's alright.
That'll be the whole show right there.
We're not even going to do an intro on the show. We're just going to go right into it, spouting bullshit.
Spouting nonsense. That's how we do it.
That's the way we do it, man. That's how it
Spocking.
works. Spocking. Hello and welcome to the Hardcore
Start again.
Fucking A.
Hello and welcome to the Hardcore Casuals podcast, a podcast for the working class geek that's too hardcore to be casual, but too casual to be hardcore. I'm Bill.
Maybe not like Brian Gumble.
Hello and welcome to the Hardcore Casuals podcast, a podcast for the working class geek that's too hardcore to be casual, but too casual to be hardcore. I'm Adrian.
He's Adrian.
I'm Danny. And he's David.
He's David. But thanks
See,
for
we could do
affirming.
that too.
Thanks for affirming who I am, though. I appreciate it.
I'm not feeling flowy.
Okay, how's that Hearthstone going on over there?
I don't know. I'm fighting a mage. I'm not going to win.
Okay.
I can't beat mages.
Drink a potion. Can you not heal yourself?
Phoenix down. Phoenix down.
Wrong game.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. Phoenix Downs are Final Fantasy world, dude. Come on. Unless
It's
somebody
all the
else
same shit.
bit it. No, there's no Phoenix Downs in Zelda, man. You got berries for that.
It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
You're an elf here. You're an elf over there. It's a fucking... I mean...
Here an elf, there an elf, everywhere an elf.
yeah.
Put your right elf in.
Oh man. Okay, so it's been a while since we've been able to sit down and talk together. Last time we talked, I was going into Wonder Woman, and I think you guys finally were able to see it since last time. Kind of eager to hear what you guys thought. Do you guys agree with me from what I said the last show?
No, it's a piece of shit.
Really? You didn't like
Nope,
it?
nope. I was extremely surprised at how much I liked it because I went in there blind, and I was like, wow. And I can see where they got the comparisons to Richard Donner, considering that the whole scene, the whole section where she ends up in the city, that whole beginning part, that was like perfect copy and paste of Richard Donner's scene when him and Lois were walking around the city for the first time. That whole, I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about.
I know
in the
exactly
alley.
what you're talking about.
It was, if it wasn't because it was a different movie and different things happened, I'd say it was a freaking copy and paste all the way down to the glasses.
It was the fish out of water thing. You have this this superhuman, metahuman, whatever, interacting in the real world, modernized, of course, for the sake of this movie. But that's where a lot of the charm and the humor from the movie came from. And yeah, it did parallel the Donner Supermans. But the other thing, didn't you get the wholesome feeling like Wonder Woman actually cares about people? She actually wants to save people, which is something we haven't seen in superhero movies as of late. Like, all of them are a little bit angsty. They're reluctant. It's more, their superpowers are more of a burden, and they're doing it a little bit reluctantly, not so like, I really want to do this. And that's how Superman, was in the Reeve films, in the Donner films, and we're seeing a Wonder Woman, another DC character, with the same spirit and ambition, which was just for me, it was a breath of fresh air. It was very nice to see.
It was well done. I liked it. You were right about all that stuff I saw from what we talked about last.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you. All that, everything that you said before, I don't remember what it was.
Let the record show.
Made sense.
Danny says I'm right. And what about Dave?
He hated it.
He's still. How's that fight going?
I feel like let me gather.
You look
my
like you need a
thoughts.
nap.
I know he just had a battle. Just for you guys, he just lost.
I am
a
still
battle with
battling the mage. The mage just used the ice block, and the
Oh my
mage has
God,
3
what are you gonna do
HP
about that?
left. I have to finish the mage off with my
Phoenix down. Phoenix down.
The Phoenix isn't downed. The Phoenix is down.
So he used ice block. How much HP do you have left?
I have 17.
17. How much HP does he have left?
3.
Okay, so
What are you playing anyways?
So he has
What game is
ice
that?
block. I would use a strong fire attack to break through the ice block and finish off that last 3 HP. Do you
A
concur,
strong
Danny?
fire attack.
Yes.
Exactly.
Is your fire spec up to code or what?
Hit his weak spot for massive damage.
That is always. I heard it works very
It's
well on
super
giant
effective.
enemy crabs.
Yeah, it's historically accurate. Giant enemy crabs.
Well, don't you remember the famous battle on the beach with the giant enemy crab?
Oh, God,
so
it's
historically
gorgeous.
accurate. I remember I wrote it. It was on what, page 197 of my Japanese history book. Giant enemy crabs. All right. Anyways, did you finish your mage off? Can we hear your input on one?
I'm about to find out. It kind of seems like this guy. He has 3 ice blocks. That's not even possible. How does he have a 3rd ice block?
Dude, meteor rain. That's it. You're done. All the ice blocks done. That 3 HP done. Come on, man. I trust you. You could do this.
It's like, how is this possible? Anyways,
He did spec to get meteor rain, right?
Wonder Woman. Speaking of Wonder Woman, I thought it was a little long. It was a good movie, but the whole 3rd act I felt like was too drawn out. I didn't enjoy the final battle at all. I thought that was way, 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 way too long in the tooth. That could have been cut down significantly. And then we would have had like a much smoother like last arc. It was just way too much, and it almost got video gamey with all the CG and all the stupid stuff. It could have been just him and her. They do their thing, and I'm not getting spoilers. And that's it. That's the final battle, you know?
You know,
The bad guy was a him?
dun dun dun. No, you know,
Okay,
I agree with you.
I'm really not sure what's going on here because this guy just used his 4th ice block.
Dan, I told you, spec for meteor rain, but no, I would agree with you. The 4th act, that final fight, was probably the weakest part of the whole movie. That's where it kind of devolves into like the more Marvel type of movie final battle, which I really thought that this movie didn't need. Again, I don't want to go into too much spoiler territory, but I thought it would have been an interesting way to end the movie if it just ended with her realizing she was wrong. And you guys know what I'm talking about. And if anybody who saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. She kind of gets her revenge and then realizes she's wrong about something. And her coming to realize, you know, that she doesn't have everything, that it's not what she thought, things weren't the way she thought they were. And she could kind of finish on that almost a little bit of a down note, kind of like reality check Diana. But no, you know, the movie had to follow the path of Marvel and do this big CGI heavy, you know, final climactic battle, which, you know what, it wasn't terrible. It was superfluous. I would say it was superfluous, but it wasn't bad, and it didn't really.
It was
destroy the movie.
borderline. It was borderline terrible.
It did not. It did not need to be there, but it didn't kill the movie.
No, it didn't kill the movie. It just it was a shame to have put that in such a stellar movie for the rest of the way. And last time we were talking, you said that Gal Gadot's acting was crap, and I thought she did a pretty good job actually. I didn't think that she was unbelievable or something. I thought you can follow her arc, and you felt like, oh wow, she's actually showing growth, and she did well acting the part, I thought. And then all the supporting actors did a good job too. So
I think the supporting actors were great, and I don't. I'll give credit where credit's due. I'm not saying Gal Gadot is a totally bad actor. She's not. Where she's weak at, my opinion, is the line delivery. She has, whether it be her language barrier or whatever, like there's just some lines that she delivers poorly. She makes up for it in a lot of her physical acting, especially her emotional expression. She's very good at conveying emotions with her face. That's like her best acting tool, like her expressions, which is fantastic. In fact, I mean that does a lot more than her dialogue. I mean, her dialogue delivery is not the worst in the world, but there are some lines. I remember one specifically I mean, I can't quote it directly, but it was a scene early on in the movie where she's trying to explain to the other Amazons, why it'll be beneficial to help Chris Pine's character, and she's delivering these lines, and they're like kind of almost a little bit cringy, but everything else is fine. I mean, again, overall acting, especially with her physical acting, fantastic. Kind of like what I said last time. If she could get with a speaking coach, a voice coach, or whatever, to deliver the lines a little bit, just a little better, I think she'll be fantastic, especially moving forward. As of course, this series got green light for Wonder Woman 2, and the Justice League's going to continue going. I would just like to see her continue to grow because she established a very, very fun character.
I thought it was kind of funny that she has that. It's not a speech impediment. It's just that she has an accent from her native language, and they had everybody else on the island mimic her, how she speaks.
Well, this is where I was talking about that Patty, the director, did a phenomenal job. I mean, she just did a great job of building everything around her and around Gal and supporting her that way. So yes, okay, let's make everybody sound like Gal Gadot, so that way it sounds like the native, accent of the island. So
right.
That's where Patty just did a freaking phenomenal job. She understood Gal Gadot's weaknesses, she knows her strengths, and she played everything around it to support that. And you have this amazing movie now.
It was good.
Would do it again.
I would love it. Continuing on in the DC cinematic universe.
I think that's where we should stop.
No. I'm not sure if you guys. I read it earlier this morning. And shoot, I forgot the guy's name. The guy who did Planet of the Apes, the guy who's doing the Batman. Have you heard this? That they're gonna be going for a detective film noir style for the Batman.
Mm-hmm. I read the article and said nope, but I thought it was interesting that they're taking a different approach to it.
I'm curious.
It was going to be a dark noir, right? Noir. It's
going to be like a classic, 30s detective noir film, which will be interesting because, I mean, Batman is known as, supposed to be the world's greatest detective, working on his own, getting inside of his head, how he's the Batman. I mean, yeah, sure, I would love to see a 2-hour movie that's kind of like the warehouse scene from Batman v Superman. The only part I enjoyed of that movie was that warehouse scene.
The Arkham Knight battle.
Oh God, yeah, the Arkham Knight battle. But I mean, that's only part of what Batman does. Batman is supposed to be the world's greatest detective, one of the world's smartest man. What's the joke? You give Batman enough preparation time, and he will beat anybody in a fight. As long as he preps right for it. So it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see a movie that could focus more on that aspect of the Batman, because that is just as important as his fighting style and his physical prowess is his mental prowess. So I think I don't know, and he's done a good job with the Planet of the Apes films. I don't know, I'm kind of interested.
So they finally decided on a director, because weren't they?
Yeah, it's the guy from the Apes films.
Okay.
Yeah. David?
Interesting.
I think I know who that is. I'm trying to remember the guy's name.
Let me see if I can look it up.
I haven't seen the last 2 Planet of the Apes movies.
They've been good. From what I'm reading, they get progressively better.
Because the first one I thought was all right. But I don't know. I'm just like over the Planet of the Apes.
It's never I never felt compelled to watch them, but from what I have seen, I mean they're pretty good. I'm trying to look up that article I read this morning. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, that's why. That's what happened with me with Wonder Woman. I wasn't really compelled to go see it, but everyone was saying that it was really good, so went and saw it. And it's weird for me to go into a movie with a lot of people giving it critical fanfare, and for me to watch it and be like, yeah, it's well deserved.
Yeah, it's almost as if he doesn't want to give it a good praise.
No, I don't. I want to go into every movie and just castrate it.
Yeah, I don't. This was, I guess, the second time I've walked into a movie completely blind, not seeing any trailers or whatever, and being pleasantly surprised.
Really? You never saw a trailer for Wonder Woman?
No, I didn't. I I had no desire to watch any other DC movie, and Wonder Woman kind of changed it. I don't want to say it completely changed it because I'm still a little sore, but we still have to watch Suicide Squad. I don't want to do this, but we still have to do it.
We got to schedule that. By the way, the director is Matt Reeves.
Ah, yes.
Matt Reeves, that's
Matt
right.
Reeves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he said, let's see, there's a there's a chance to do an almost noir-driven detective version of Batman that is a point-of-view driven in a very, very powerful way that hopefully will connect you to what's going on inside of his head and his heart. So
I can get behind that.
yeah, me too. I mean, as long as as long as the execution is good. I also think, to kind of like I said before, like if they just take a pause and look at what they did right with Wonder Woman and try to emulate it in the rest of the DCU movies moving forward, I think the DC universe could make a complete U-turn and start rivaling Marvel.
Whatever takes the focus off of Ben Affleck being Batman, I'm down for.
I still gotta go against you, man. I actually like Ben Affleck as Batman.
Like, again, it's nothing against Ben Affleck. I just don't see him as Batman. It just does not fit.
I liked seeing some of, like, he was actually doing a little bit detective work in Batman v Superman. Infiltrating Lex Luthor's place, looking for the kryptonite. Encrypting the stuff on the computer. Like, it was cool seeing him do that because that is a major part of what Batman does.
Yeah, I like that that he was 10 steps ahead of everyone in Dawn of Justice. So yeah, I gotta give you that one.
It's just gonna fall back on Zack Snyderisms, because Justice League is gonna be the precedent for hot garbage.
Nah, I mean they could turn it around. They could.
They can turn it around, man.
They
can turn it around, but I honestly don't think that Zack Snyder will allow it.
Well, Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder it.
Well, Zack Snyder dismissed himself from it.
No, he dismissed himself. Yeah, but it's already done. It's already done. He stepped down, but it was already done. All they had to do was shoot some key, some filler spots, whatever the hell they had to film, last minute, because the film's already done. So him stepping down, Joss Whedon taking over, that doesn't mean crap. The movie's done already. It's just post to now that they're working on.
Well, time will.
The movies down the line, he's obviously going to come back for. That's when it's going to be Zack Snydered.
But you'll be surprised at what they could do in post. I mean, a case in point, look at what they did with Suicide Squad. You watch Suicide Squad, and you can tell that was supposed to be a completely different movie, and then they Frankensteined it in post.
Well, they turned it into two movies, got different reactions. Everyone kept changing their minds every time they went to the freaking bathroom, so they ended up fusing these two versions together, and that's what we ended up with.
Well,
John McAvoy split.
It was supposed to be more of an
entire movie.
There was supposed to be more Joker in it. It was supposed to be more of a Joker thing.
Jeez.
And then they realized, oh shit, nobody likes Jared Leto as the Joker, and he kind of sucks.
No crap.
He's not a very good Joker. So then they're like, okay, so how do we cut out the Joker, center this all on Will Smith and Harlequin, and then just pepper in what we need of the Joker that's absolutely necessary. And then even in the director's cut, you get a lot of the Joker scenes, but still, you can tell that the whole thing is just an abomination that they tried to salvage at the last minute without having any real forethought as to how the movie was supposed to go.
Question.
Answer.
And try to be unbiased. I'm gonna pitch you guys a question. Gerard Leto's Joker.
Jared Leto.
Whatever.
Gerard Butler.
Jared. That dude.
This is Gotham!
If we did not get treated to Heath Ledger's amazing portrayal of the Joker, would Jared's be that terrible? Imagine a world there was no Dark Knight movie and there was no Heath Ledger Joker.
Even comparing Jared Leto's Joker to the Adam West Joker, he still sucks.
Caesar Romano.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, this is the first podcast we're doing after Adam West's death, so I'm going to toast
R.I.P.
Adam West, the passing of the Batman.
Rest in peace.
Pour it out for the homies that ain't here.
Yeah, man. I was reading an interesting article about like how him and Burt
Reynolds,
Burt Ward,
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. Well, him too, but Burt Ward like would get like mad poon like in their costumes. Like one time, Burt Ward walked in on Adam West, and he had like 8 girls with him, doing them all.
All right.
Like, dude, what a freaking badass! Just for being the Batman in a campy ass TV show.
He is a billionaire playboy.
Yeah,
the original.
Trust us,
the original billionaire playboy. Exactly.
But anyway, so like,
but yeah, back to your question.
Because I try to think of it myself, and I'm like, I think that the reaction I wouldn't say it would be resoundingly positive, and I wouldn't say it would be like heralded like Heath Ledger's was, but I don't believe it will be as negative. But coming off the coattails of Heath Ledger's amazing portrayal, which I mean, I still watch that movie, I'm like, oh my god, like this guy did amazing. I think it was really big shoes to fill, and he couldn't do it.
When I first saw Jared Leto as Joker, I couldn't even bring myself to compare him to Heath Ledger's Joker. So, I guess if there was no Heath Ledger, if he did not portray Joker, if he didn't play Joker, my opinion of Jared Leto as Joker would still be the same, only not as aggressive.
David?
Adrian?
Okay, there we go. Vegeta? All right. Okay, well fair enough.
That's what I said. Jared Leto just sucks. And I dislike him as a person.
Oh, God. Don't get me started with him as a person.
It's one of those things where you can't root for someone. Well, I say this in a sense of someone getting the job as the Joker if you get an actor. Because there was a lot of poor reception to Heath Ledger getting the Joker. Everyone was like, how the hell is this little pretty boy going to do the Joker?
Exactly.
But Jared Leto was a totally different reason. It's like everybody, like you said, coming off of what Heath Ledger was able to do with it, then they were saying, oh, look, you didn't trust us with Heath Ledger, and look how that turned out. But Jared Leto was already a pretty crappy individual that nobody really liked. And then he's not really a presence, even though he had just won an Academy Award or something when he signed on for this. It's just, it works in such a different, like, atmosphere. It's a different realm, what he tries to bring to the role. And his stupid, what's that crap called when you're, method acting. Where he's there
method acting, huh?
Sending everybody used condoms and bullets and all kinds of shit because he's like, I'm in the head of the Joker. I'm being the Joker. It's like, shut the fuck up, asshole.
A dead pig to the reading.
It's like, are you serious, man? Or, oh god, it just pisses me off. There's nothing I hate more than people that think they're artists or creatives and they're anything but that, and they just latch on to these little quirks and say, oh, that's because I'm creative or I'm an artist. It's like, fuck you. No, you're not. You're just a fucking idiot that has no talent, and you're trying to portray it that you are super talented and this is your method, that's how you have to work. Get out of here, you stupid shithead. The worst thing that could have happened is that motherfucker getting a fucking Academy Award. Fuck.
He has been in some pretty good movies, though.
You're welcome. I'm out.
Well, somebody... I think David's roboting on us.
Ooh, that was actually really good.
What was I going to say? He was in Requiem for a Dream. That was a really good movie.
No thanks to him.
No, his character
Jennifer Connelly made that.
Ass to ass.
Giggity.
It's like I give him a really hard time, but I also, as I think about it, I kind of feel like he's one of the typical people that goes to Hollywood, finds some success, and suddenly thinks they're more than they are. So the recognition of the Academy Award and all that kind of stuff, I feel like might have pushed him even further to suck even more as the Joker.
Was he a singer first or an actor? I kind of feel like he was a singer first and he just stumbled.
No, he was an actor first. Then he started the band, and now he does both.
He did Requiem for a Dream and then stumbled into a.
He did more than Requiem for a Dream before that. He was in Fight Club. He was in American Psycho. Remember he was Albert Stram in American Psycho. I mean, he's done some pretty interesting roles, but I just get the feeling that this guy is just like he sniffs his own farts to get high, type of guy.
It's like he might have had all those roles, but he's not remembered for any of them. When you think, when you think
I remember
American
him as
Psycho,
the blonde.
No, when you think
the only one I remember him from is Requiem for a Dream, and that's pretty much it.
But
and then music.
Still, if you tell someone,
Tangerine Dream made that movie, man.
If you tell someone what do you remember from Requiem for a Dream, they're not going to say Jared Leto. If you say
the music,
if you say American Psycho, they're not going to say Jared Leto. It's like any movie that motherfucker's in, no one's going to say, "Oh, I remember it for him," except for the movie that he got the praise for, that he won. But still, it's like, I think, he's one of those guys that just likes to pat himself on the back. And this coming from three people that have never met him or even know anything about him.
Exactly.
We are very judgmental.
We are judgmental. We are hateful people.
We hate everyone.
I have another hardcore casual question, and this is gonna go into. I mean, most of the shows we've been talking about, it's mainly about movies, but we do, we're into games and video games and comics as well.
And Monopoly.
I just found myself thinking about this some random night on my way home, and I was like, man, it would be so cool if I had this. So before I tell you what mine is, I want to ask the both of you. If you could choose an item, vehicle, object, weapon, you name it, artifact, from video game, movie, literature, whatever, only one, and you could have its power as it is in that genre. So if it's a video game item, you could have all the power it has in the video game, whatever. If it's a movie item, whatever. What would it be? Danny, what would your artifact or item that you could use in the real world from a fictional
Let me say first, before you answer it, there's three of us. I feel like we should all coordinate, find 4 more people, and all of us can choose one Dragon Ball. Then we can put them all together, and we can wish for whatever we want.
I would want the 1-star Dragon Ball. I would want the 2-star Dragon Ball.
Loophole.
That's all right. Well, okay.
Lawyered.
It's the three of us. So, Danny, what would yours be?
That's actually a really good question. I don't think I've ever been asked what abilities I would want from an item.
Because it's typical. It's typical conversation in daily life. I've never been asked that.
I think random is crap. Once I tell you my answer, you'll see why. But I'm just.
It's never been like an item. It's always been, what powers would you want? And
Okay, well, we're not talking about powers. We're talking about
it's abilities from an object.
Yeah, which is a freaking it's almost a freaking cliche question now, but like an item, an artifact, a weapon, a vehicle, whatever from movies, literature, video games, whatever. What would you want?
Shit, that's a really good one.
Okay, while you think.
Yeah, I've never had. Go ahead, David, if you have one.
A DeLorean.
Is it a time machine DeLorean?
Exactly. What kind of DeLorean?
It has to be a time machine DeLorean. It can't.
So you want the time
DeLorean.
machine from Back to the Future? Okay, so there you go. Okay, wait. Why? Why would you want the time machine from Back to the Future?
To save the clock tower.
Okay.
Why else?
So wait. Do you want it pre-hover conversion or post-hover conversion?
No, it has to be converted.
Okay, with the Mr. Fusion?
Exactly, it has to have Mr. Fusion.
Drop a Dr. Pepper in there. You have to look for plutonium.
Yeah, to make it run.
Yeah, okay. Because I would totally go to the future and get a sports almanac and come back and then bet on everything.
Dude, that is an awesome premise, man. I would love to do that shit.
Yep.
Have you ever had one of those dreams where you went back to your childhood with all the knowledge you had when you were an adult and be like, I'm gonna play the stock market and all this shit, invest in this company?
Not even go back as a child. Go back to last year and put all your money into Amazon and you'd be rich right now. 1 year.
Go to Vegas, bet on Trump winning.
Yeah, there's all kinds of little things. How many times is he gonna say huge?
All right, so David would do the time machine from Back to the Future 2, the flying DeLorean. I haven't seen one of those in 30 years. It's a quote from the movie. All right, so Danny, you had some time to think. What would you do? I'm surprised at David. I didn't expect him to go for the DeLorean. You?
That would actually be my
no, you can't copy answers.
No, it's not copying it. It's because I love those movies growing up, like freaking passionately. That would be like an answer I would give.
I am so unsatisfied with all your answers. Really?
Huh?
I am so unsatisfied with.
Well,
your
no,
answers.
I'm not saying I want it. I'm still thinking about it because shit.
All right,
Objects from
then
movies
I'll drop my answer.
Go ahead.
And no, it's
let
not.
me
Master
guess.
Sword.
I know what it is.
It's not the Master Sword.
No,
it's not that.
No,
Yeah.
it's from Total
You would
Recall.
think it was the Master Sword.
It's from Total Recall. The woman with 3 boobs.
That's not an artifact. That's a person.
That is an artifact.
The third boob is an
to differ.
artifact.
That is an artifact.
Want the
The
three-tiered
third boob is an
prostitutes.
artifact. You have no idea what powers it possesses.
Actually, this is probably going to be a
2
little
weeks.
obscure. Did anybody ever play the game Descent?
Yes.
Yes.
I would want that pyro, the ship, the black pyro. I would want that. I would want to fly around in a zero-G ship that can move in all directions with anti-gravity, armed to the teeth, with cloaking and shields and all this, and solar power and a prototype warp core.
I will
and
grant
just
this.
have fun.
Only on one condition: that the ship.
How can you grant this? How can you make me a Israeli-made black pyro
The
with
ship
mega missiles and
has to
plasma
be-
cannons?
The ship has to be in 1993 polygonal crappy graphics.
No, I want the one from Descent 3 Mercenary. Can it be 2002?
No, it has to be Descent
Graphics,
1,
please.
the original.
Can it play the level 1 music? Like, whenever I come in, it just keeps playing that level 1 music on loop?
If you last long enough from the crappy controls.
Assuming you survive it.
Oh, God. I would have so much fun with that shit. Like, ISIS. What happened? Got pyroed by Adrian. It was a bunch of polygrams just shooting lasers at us.
I don't understand. These polygons
just-
came from nowhere.
Hello.
Like shitty 1992 graphics. Why?
93, get it right. What's just hold on.
We still need
That's
your
a
answer.
difference.
What is your answer?
That's true. Yeah.
Was Descent 93?
I'm still thinking about it.
Why
Dude, David answered, I answered. Come on, man.
Why are you thinking so much?
The Enterprise D.
Nice.
But you
Enterprise D.
you're still copying an answer because he wanted a spaceship. So
What?
now you're saying a spaceship.
No. Mine
No,
is
that's different.
No,
you
mine is
want to go fuck yourself?
Mine
What
is
the hell?
capable of atmospheric and space travel, but mainly atmospheric. It couldn't go that deep into space like the Enterprise D. Why the Enterprise D?
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
By the way, Descent came out in 95.
Oh, okay, there you go.
No, but why the Enterprise D? Why not the E?
Well, I like the D, just the design. It's just because
The
that's
giant saucer. I like the Enterprise D too. That's my favorite
Yeah,
one.
it's the saucer in a way. I mean, it
That
just looks
gigantic
so cool.
saucer is like,
Yeah.
it's really cool. It was huge.
The E
it was
ha-
imposing.
The E has a really nice design, and I like it as well. But just
it's
the
sleeker, yeah.
Yeah, but the D is just, I don't know.
Like I'm gonna confess, like when I saw Star Trek Generations and I saw the Enterprise D crash,
Oh,
I was like, no.
I shed a tear. Yes.
Oh,
And
it
it's still one
was
of my
so
favorite.
sad to see that ship finally get destroyed after all the shit it went through. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay.
man, the Enterprise D, man.
The Enterprise D. Yeah. Okay, that's a good ship. That's a good ship. All right, cool. Just I was thinking about that because what was that? What was I doing? I was cruise controlling back home, and for some reason I just imagined like,
Well-
oh yeah, I had to. I had my music on random, and I actually had the Descent soundtrack, and then the level 1 music for Descent came up,
Let's take it further.
and I was like,
let's
holy
take
crap.
it further. We
All right.
we all selected a vehicle. Now make it an item. What would be the artifact?
Okay, it's an actual item. Oh well, Master Sword, duh.
That's what you would choose.
Actually, you know what? I require more time to think about this one.
You wanna-
Master Sword is my knee-jerk reaction.
My knee-jerk reaction is a lightsaber.
You know, I could do a lightsaber. Well, but the thing is, you already picked lightsaber, so I can't copy your answer.
That's my knee-jerk
So-
reaction. I would be like lightsaber in a heartbeat immediately.
Portal gun.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good one. Now you're thinking with science.
Dude,
Yes.
the shit you could do with that.
That's good, yeah.
But if I don't have the freaking boots on, I could kill myself quite easily too.
You know how
Yeah.
much easier you could shower and wash your back?
There we go. Get those spots right there. Just
You can give yourself a stranger without having to numb your hand.
we must make this happen. Now more than ever, we must make a portal gun for sex.
Jeez.
You could actually fuck
I
yourself.
gave myself the reach around. How did you do that?
Science.
And who says science doesn't amount to anything?
All right, Danny, we gave our answers for item.
This was a triumph.
I'm going to make a note here.
Huge success.
An item that I would use. An actual item. I'd like to say... Well, no, I can't. Would the RoboCop suit even count? Because that's...
Yeah, the RoboCop suit would count. That's perfectly fine. So
But
you would go with the RoboCop suit.
That's not a suit.
Exactly. No, it wouldn't even be a suit. It would be like just
Well, it is a suit. It's an enhancement. I mean, but basically, you gotta. It basically just gonna be your freaking brain and parts of your body.
Yeah, it's
And
more
everything
a
else is gonna be-
replacement body than it is a suit.
It's one hell of a body, man.
In the remake, it was his brain, his face, and his hand or whatever that survived the explosion.
No,
and
a
his,
couple
his
of
lungs and stuff. But
Yeah, a couple of organs. I remember seeing that scene. That was probably the only. That was probably the only part of the movie that was interesting. The rest sucked.
yeah, exactly.
Like him seeing himself, like, "Ooh, it's a lamb."
Yeah, it would be that suit or that.
The remake, not the original.
No, and only because of the agility.
Yeah, because the original he was kind of like clumping
Yeah,
around.
I loved the original one. To this day, I love it, and
That's a great movie. That movie still holds up. I don't care what you
Yeah,
say.
exactly. Like, I love the original suit, but as far as agility goes, I think I'm gonna have to go with the new one.
The Cylon.
So you would be willing to give up 90% of your body for that RoboCop suit?
Yes.
How about this? And no matter wherever you went, the original RoboCop music will play. Bum, 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 bum,
Yes,
bum, bum,
exactly.
bum, bum, bum,
Are you kidding me? I would have that installed somewhere, and I would just have it playing.
What if you were granted the RoboCop suit, but for all eternity you'd be hunted by the other RoboCop?
Well, he
be
would
awesome.
be. He's faster. He's faster than the original RoboCop.
But you're
so
always
Exactly.
looking over your shoulder when he's gonna attack.
You would just hear from the distance.
Are you
slowly.
kidding me? The remake. Yeah, exactly.
I gotta get out of here.
That's how I know that he's getting close to me, because I would hear that.
It's like the movie It Follows, but instead of it being like a ghost, it's just RoboCop is coming after you.
Music.
He's just walking the whole time.
Not
It's
only
like the
that,
Reapers.
He's no. Not only that, but he'd be walking, and I would hear him walking from like 4 blocks down because I would hear
Cling, cling, cling.
everything he does is.
Dude, do you remember when he was a guest at Wrestle at
Yes,
one of the,
it was WCW. Yes.
The bars were so fake when he opened.
Yes. It was shitty.
Oh god!
And
I knew you would remember that.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. That was awesome.
Okay, well, that you brought this up, and I figured, you know what? I don't think the three of us have ever answered this question, but since we're on this topic, fine. The cliche one: superpowers. What superpower would you want, Danny?
Wait, hold on. Would it be one superpower,
One
or
superpower.
can it be a mixture?
One? No, I want any superpower. No, one superpower.
Okay, all right. One superpower. I would have to go with. Oh crap!
Okay. Oh crap! What would you do with that?
You know, I have that superpower already.
I had it about 2 hours ago,
Defecation.
and when we're done with this podcast, I'm going to have it again.
If you keep on laughing, you might have one in the middle of it.
Yeah. Oh geez. Okay, one superpower because I'm tossed between. Oh man. telekinesis, flight, or...
Wait, you said 2. Now you're going to a third?
Well, yeah, I'm tossed between those 3. Like, okay, hang on. Telekinesis, there.
Telekinesis, flight, or what was the other one?
I was going to go with... It didn't count because it's Wolverine's powers, but he has technically 2 of them.
Oh, healing.
Which one? Well, his main power is regeneration.
Okay. I see. I can't even go with the claws because that would instantly kill me.
So regeneration, then.
See, that would be
guess,
cool
yeah.
if we came up with how Calypso did it in Twisted Metal. Oh, you want Wolverine's
Yes,
powers? Okay,
yes.
now you die.
Exactly. Yeah. Here.
There's
have
a
the
twist.
adamantium.
There's
And
a
he's
twist
like,
to everything.
Then I'm in the hospital with lead poisoning or adamantium poisoning.
It's like, for example, mine
Because
would
the only
be-
reason Logan was able to get the adamantium was because of how amazing his healing powers was.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what'd you pick? Telekinesis at the end?
Telekinesis, yeah.
Being able to move things with your mind.
Yes.
Okay.
But
why?
just for the sheer power of it. Because the way I can describe it is, think of it as Neo in the Matrix, where once he freed his mind, air quotes, he was able to manipulate the Matrix, the entirety of the Matrix. Now, obviously you can't do that in real life, but with that much mind control, imagine what you can do. Imagine the stuff that you can move. I mean, and not just limited to moving things. Imagine what you can do to your own body at a molecular level, assuming
I hate you because you kind of took what mine was, which would be a very advanced form. I would guess I'll call it like microkinesis or so. I don't know what you call controlling elements. That's what I would want, to control elements, atoms at their base. So that way, I could do telekinesis, hydrokinesis, pyrokinesis, basically everything.
You want kinesis. Just kinesis.
You want kinesis.
Omnikinesis.
Yeah. Omnikinesis, yeah.
I want omnikinesis.
You want
and for the exact reason why you are, because to be able to basically control everything at the base level, from myself internally to anything else externally, I'm sure it's a very difficult thing to grasp, but I just think that's it's so powerful. If you could control an atom, you control everything else.
Yeah, exactly. With our powers combined, we'd be unstoppable.
Oh yeah.
We know a guy named Adam, so you could try to control him and see what happens.
The guitar dude.
All right. Okay. All right. So then, so you would go for some sort of telekinesis or special telekinesis. Mm-hmm. I kind of gave away my answer to some sort of like omnikinesis, almost kind of like Dr. Manhattan, controlling of the actual structure and element of at the base level. I love Dr. Manhattan. What about you, Dave?
Probably teleportation.
Teleportation. Why?
Because then I don't have to drive anywhere. I could just get there. That's easy.
Jump
traffic problem solved.
Like that movie Jump.
Now wait, would you have to do like Goku with the instantaneous movement?
That would be kind of cool.
Having to do the fingers on the board?
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Kaiosama.
No, it's like
what if somebody cut off your fingers? You're screwed.
And then you use your other 2 fingers. If you lose those, then you get your foot.
You punch yourself in the head.
No, it's like I would probably be teleportation or super speed, like the Flash. Either one of those. I've always been a fan of. Like even when we played COV, my first hero power or whatever was super speed. I've always liked that.
You want like Flash level where you can like go so fast that you could manipulate time? Yeah,
pretty much. Like my top pick would probably be teleportation, because anything you could think of, any galaxy or whatever, you can just get there in a blink of an eye. And
what about like if you don't get your coordinates right and you like teleport into a wall?
Well, then that's a fail.
Yeah, because remember, you don't have super healing or anything like that, so if you don't teleport to the right spot, you're fucked.
Yeah, you have to teleport correctly. So, pretty much, what I was going to bring up was if each one of these powers had a side effect or a drawback, would you still take it? For example, with teleportation, there are certain heroes that can only teleport where they can see themselves teleporting to. If they can't see it, they can't teleport there. So that would be a drawback.
Well, that makes sense, though.
That would be a drop. No, because that's not how Goku is. Goku locks onto the key of somebody and teleports to the location.
Hold on a second. I'm going to pause you right there. I thought I could clearly remember reading in the Japanese subtitles that Goku could only teleport to places he's been to.
No, it's wherever. If he can.
That's why he had to run. That's why he had to run freaking Snake Way.
Well, that's because that was the beginning of the show. He didn't even have that power yet when he ran Snake Way.
Okay, so your drawback would be you can only teleport to places you've been to.
Or like another drawback could be every time you teleport, you're destroying your old self and creating a new self. So technically, every time you teleport, yeah, it's not really you anymore. It's your clone.
They go into that. Have you guys seen the movie The Prestige?
Yeah.
Yes.
Love that movie, and it goes it goes into that kind of thing, like
Yeah, that was in the Twilight Zone too, or Outer Limits. One of those. Like, there was a famous episode about that.
Yeah.
But no one's really taken that into account from someone who has teleportation as an ability. So,
and actually, Danny, in Star Trek, what the fuck am I talking about? The vodka's talking. In Star Trek, isn't that one of the things that they're worried about with beaming?
The beaming, yeah. That's one of the things that was unknown, is whether you're porting the person, breaking them down at a molecular level, and then reforming them over there, or is this person now dead and you're just spawning.
The Picard version 27.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially beaming someone's soul into a new body.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
We'll never know until we do it.
I guess one of the questions that was asked, and like nobody really knew the answer to that.
So we got to figure out what your drawbacks would be, because it's clearly a pretty hefty drawback if you say you can teleport, but you, as you know yourself, are no longer going to exist every time you teleport. It would be a new you.
Because technically you just destroyed that last version.
Exactly. And your new you still has all of your memories, but you yourself no longer exist. The new you will continue on as if nothing happened, but
until they teleport again.
And then it's a new person. So for you guys, what would be the drawback for telekinesis and kinesis?
Well, for like what I was talking about, like I made the comparison to one of my favorite fictional characters, Dr. Manhattan, which I would imagine the drawback would be similar to his, where he eventually loses grip on his humanity and just becomes this cold.
Yeah, but some people don't care about that. We got to make it a little bit more visceral. What if you can control atoms, but the atoms you control are only at the expense of your own physical atoms?
Oh man, so like, dude, I would die quickly.
So
I can't control crap.
I was gonna say something along those lines, but a little bit less dramatic. Like, you run the risk of screwing something up and totally destroying your body.
That's too easy. It's got to be a give and take, an eye for an eye. So like,
like destroying like something else, like dude, if I'm controlling the atom at a base level and I just do one thing, I just make a freaking nuclear explosion and kill everything around me.
Because I was going to say that for telekinesis, you could have telekinesis, but you have no control over it. Like, you can move something with your mind, but you don't know if you're going to move it, destroy it, explode it, move it an inch.
Wow.
You have no control over it.
Like Legion.
That's dangerous. Yes, that's dangerous for me, because when I have outbursts, I don't give a shit what I'm aiming it at. It's gonna explode and it's gonna fucking.
But But that's assuming you can control it.
Your character sounds established.
No. You're
this is fact,
David. No, David. You're assuming I want to control it when I'm pissed off.
No, but you're still assuming that you're controlling it, because even if you're pissed off, what if you're pissed off expecting something to explode and it just moves an inch in front of you?
No, but see, that's
that'd
the
be
thing.
funny. I'm gonna blow this up.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it to an emotional level. When you're like raging, you're not going to be thinking, "Oh, I'm going to destroy this. I'm going to destroy that." You're raging, and then you're just exploding. Your power's just going to overdrive.
Yeah, but that's still assuming you're controlling it.
But that's the thing. I'm not controlling it.
Exactly.
So if something moves an inch or moves to the other side of the planet, killing everything in its path, that's it's up in the air.
What about when you're having an orgasm?
You can destroy
That's
everything.
even dangerous for all parties involved. I mean, can you imagine? It takes a whole, I'm going to tear her in half to a whole new level.
See, like that's a good other one. What if you told someone you could have any power you want, but you're impotent for the rest of your life?
Well, then my power would be I'm gonna make everybody come.
With my mind.
No.
Orgasmo.
Because you know what? Because I get off when you get off. Come on, that's the way it goes.
Oh my God, you're such a giver.
Orgasmo, no, that's a great movie.
Oh, Orgasmo. But I've always thought that was interesting. Like, since I played the first Twisted Metal, and you get to the endings, and people wish for things, and Calypso just twists it. He takes exactly what they said, gives them what they wanted, but twists it in a completely opposite manner. And then they're like, "What the fuck? Yeah. That's not what I wanted." He's like, "Well, you asked for it." So
he gives them the literal ability or whatever. Like, "Oh, you wanted invulnerability? Fine, here we go." But then they're like fucked somehow.
Yeah, like the guys that wanted to fly, like, and then he throws them off a skyscraper. He's like, "I didn't say for how long."
Exactly. Or like the ones that actually did get what they wanted, but then they're like isolated in the middle of nowhere or something, and they can't do anything about it.
So you got to be careful when you're making wishes. You got to think about all the ins and outs.
Yeah, with some satanic figure, sure.
Be very careful. Speaking about satanic figures, I don't know how deep you guys are into literature. One of my favorite
the Bible
authors. No, we're not. Well, actually, related to maybe a little bit. One of my favorite authors is Neil Gaiman. I have almost every book of his, and I was fortunate to meet him, and he actually autographed one of mine. Neil Gaiman. And one of my favorite books, actually the first book I read, the second book I read after Neverwhere was American Gods, which I love that book. If you haven't read that book, read the book. But finally, after, what seems to be an eternity, they made a TV series of it on Starz.
Just ended.
I watched it, religiously, pun intended. Have you guys had a chance to see it? Do you know anything about it?
Yes.
I've watched the first 2 episodes.
Oh my God, you guys are watching American Gods.
I saw it already. Yeah, I'm done with it. David, what did you think of the first 2
episodes? Did you read the book?
I did not.
I have not read the book, but I can tell you.
What about that intro? That intro,
dude,
is freaking sexy.
The intro on the show is very American Horror Story. It's a pretty well done intro. I still think American Horror Story does some of the best intros on TV.
Oh yeah.
But American Gods would be so fucking much better if it got out of its own way. The show spends so much time trying to be a pretentious cockfag. Like, look at me, look at how artistic and cool this imagery is. And let's put in some fucking...
It's all Brian Fuller.
Let's put some fucking French new age music in the background and in between scenes that it doesn't even apply. Just because I'm so artistic. And it's like, shut the fuck up. I hate when directors do that shit. When directors forget about their narrative and they're just trying to jerk themselves off. That show can be so much better if it focused on the actual storyline.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you about. That's Brian Fuller's style that he was doing over in the Hannibal TV series, and it was even, if you hated this, it's even more exaggerated in the Hannibal TV series. This is actually a toned down version of what he was doing there, and honestly, I love it because it's actually he's forced into this one hour confined thing instead of dragging it out for 40 minutes and then getting nowhere and then having to do the same thing in the next episode.
Actually, I'll tell you this because I've read the book. I've read the book.
I
know
love
the book
style.
I love the style, and I think the style is appropriate for the story. I think they did a good job of modernizing a bit because the story is now getting a little bit dated thanks to the vast advances in technology. I'd have to go against you, David, because I love the way they're using music in this show. Especially, I'm not sure if you got to that part yet, and if you're only 2 episodes
I've only seen the first 2.
But when the media god impersonates David Bowie, and that music is playing what's called media. The track is actually called Media Bowie. It's a very, very good encapsulation of David Bowie's music.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense to the moment. I'm talking about all the other moments where it doesn't make sense to the moment. where it's clearly a director just trying to jerk off and be like, look how creative and artistic I am, when you're not fucking creative or artistic.
Well, the thing is,
you are not serving the narrative with your stupid ass music drowning out your fucking actors' dialogue. That makes no fucking sense. And the whole show...
It's funny, I didn't pick that up, but that's because my antennae were very focused onto how is this going to faithfully interpret the book.
And you already read the book, so you're already in the know of the book. For example, I'm there with Michelle, and I had to explain to her what the show was about because I briefly knew the premise of American Gods. I haven't read the book, but I knew what it was about. You take someone that hasn't seen anything about American Gods and you put them to watch the show, they're not going to know what the fuck is going on.
Zero. Actually, I was completely lost. I was completely lost until like the third episode when it finally. I was like, oh, okay, I now understand. This is this god. This is this god. These guys are new gods. You know, it's like
yeah.
Oh, you didn't get because I mean,
because it was confusing.
I was watching it with Maria. And I told her, I didn't tell her anything. I was like, just watch this. This is based off my favorite book. And she caught on to it pretty quick. I mean, that first intro where, you know, they fight on the new world to get wind, you know.
But you're talking about... No, you're getting very far into the show. I've seen...
That's the first scene.
No, it's not.
That's the first scene. Yes, the first scene is the Vikings going to the new world. They get stranded. There's no wind.
Oh, you're talking about that.
He's their god.
No, I thought you were talking about something
their god.
else.
And then finally, after days of fighting each other,
that doesn't tell you shit. Is someone who doesn't know anything about the show watches that and they're like, what's this flashback
about? The narrative tells you, and then their god came and there was wind. I mean,
yeah, but then you get into the show and then you've got this guy who's on an airplane talking to Shadow, and then you've got the other people
Mr. Wednesday.
Exactly, Mr. Wednesday. And then the fucking leprechaun. You've got all of this stuff.
He basically said, I'm a leprechaun.
No, I know.
Leprechaun.
But
and he starts putting gold out of his fucking sleeve.
All of that stuff.
No.
It hits you in the face.
It's not hitting you in the face. Someone who doesn't know anything about this is watching this and thinking from a different mindset. They're like, what, are these guys magicians? What the fuck is going on? Because your first thought isn't to think, oh, supernatural gods and shit. Your first thought is, how is this based in reality? Understood, the show is called American Gods. But still, that might not be people's first inclination. They're going to think, how is this grounded in reality?
Well, there you go. Actually, wait. I want to give credit to David.
I want to rebut.
No. I don't want to rebut. I actually want to reinforce. I could totally see where you're coming from, because that is Neil Gaiman's style. He bases the mythological and the supernatural in a very realistic setting. So and that's what I love about the books. Especially another book that I recommend you guys read. I think there was a mini series on BBC done maybe 10 years ago based on it as well. It's called Neverwhere, and it's the same thing. At first glance, you feel like you're in the real world, and then you start going down the rabbit holes, as it were. And the real world starts kind of going away, and you're getting all the supernatural and all this other crap going around, which is the same thing with American Gods. You're only 2 episodes in, but I'm sure Danny could reinforce. As you go into it, it starts sucking you in, and then you start knowing more. Okay, this is what's going on. If that makes any sense, Danny, you wanted to say something.
Yes. You're right. That's exactly as I was. I mean, I because of the name and what very little I had heard, I knew it was about gods. I just didn't know what in the hell was going on. You're basically as lost as the main character is if you haven't read the books or you don't. And as you progress, as the character is learning things, you learn things, and it's
problem is that the character, you're following a character that has no desire to learn things. Through the first 2 episodes, he doesn't give a fucking shit.
Yeah,
that's the point. He's supposed to represent the every American man who has lost touch with the supernatural, doesn't give a shit about the supernatural.
And that's fine if the director wasn't jerking himself off doing everything that he's doing.
But because David, that's the thing. It's not just the director, because that's also the character.
No,
in the book.
It's not.
As a person who read the book,
no,
I've read the book.
No,
don't tell me
I'm not telling you what's wrong about the book. What I'm telling you is that
you read the book wrong, dude, and I haven't read it.
No, what I was saying was that in the book, everything about the premise of the main character in the book and everything you're saying makes sense. I just don't feel like the way that the show is being portrayed through the first 2 episodes is doing that justice. Because, like you said, the main character not knowing what anything is, trying to question it and be like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't understand. And then being the person who's lost touch and who's thinking he's going crazy because he's seeing Lucille Ball talking to him on TV. All of that shit is striking him as weird. The problem with me is that the director is going out of his way to be more creative than the source material requires to tell the proper narrative. And that's what pisses me off. It's like I always go back to it. Movies like Gravity, where the director goes out of his way to do little symbolic shit that means nothing to the fucking story just because he wants to be a director to be like, oh, did you see my genius where she's embodying the embryo inside the womb? Fuck you, motherfucker. That's not what's happening.
I'm gonna pause you right there. But the Lucille Ball scene is in the book.
I'm not, dude. You're not paying attention to what I'm fucking saying.
That quote.
You're not paying attention to what I'm saying.
Is from the book.
I'm saying that part makes sense. I'm talking about all the other shit that doesn't make sense. Where it's all drawn out extensively, and then with the fucking new age music going on through scenes where people are trying to talk and you're trying to get an idea of what the hell's happening. For example, episode 2, when he goes to the butcher, the sisters and all that fucking shit, the Russians. He goes over there.
Chichnebug, he's good.
Exactly.
Yes.
He goes over there and he's talking to them all. Everything that happens in that scene should not have a fucking ounce of music behind it. All of that should be grounded so you can be there with the character and saying, what the hell is going on here? I'm trying to gather who these people are. Who's in the room? What's up with that sister that doesn't want to come out? Why is the butcher so pissed off? None of that should be added with any kind of music flair. But there's little nuances of little music shit that's like really shitty, like stupid stock kind of music. So I'm sorry if someone listening actually worked on the music and is a composer, but that's what it sounds like. And then there's like little hits of sound design to it, and it's like, you're taking me out of the experience. I should be feeling lost like him, and yet you keep piling on all these extra layers of bullshit that do not serve your narrative. And that's what pisses me off.
You know, I could see your point, but it did not, for me, it didn't pull me out. But
some
again,
people it doesn't.
I'm biased. I'm somebody who's been waiting to see this book personified for a long time, and I honestly I didn't even pay attention to that. My antenna
because
went up
because you were nerding out over the fact that your favorite book is a show. For me, I'm watching it.
And I love like who they picked. Like that episode when I saw Church-in-the-Bog, I'm like, oh my god, they picked this is Russian space station.
Of course, because that guy plays every Russian role
as him, and I was like, oh my god, he's Church-in-the-Bog. That's great.
Any Russian role in TV is played by that guy. But it's like I was watching the episode there with Michelle, and I'm like, this show would be so much better if it got out of its own way. If it could just focus on the narrative, if it focused on the source material, which obviously is very strong because otherwise it wouldn't have been adapted or become a TV show.
I will say this, as we go through the whole first season, I was telling this to Maria, and they only did this, I guess, to at least make 2 seasons out of it. The book, seriously, is episode 1, 2, a little bit of 3 and 4, and then the last episode. Almost everything else in between, they made up filler that supports what the book told and goes into more depth about what was implied in the book but wasn't. Was that whole season, majority of the season is filler from the book, but the first 2 episodes and that last episode are almost cut and paste dialogue and scenes exactly as it was in the book.
I'm fine
and I
with
love
the dialogue and getting to know.
The dialogue is almost
solid.
cut and paste.
It's like
it's almost
I'm fine
cut and
with
paste.
that.
They did a
I'm
good
fine
job
with a lot of the dialogue. All of that I find very
It's
strong.
Neil Gaiman writing.
My problem, like I said, is just all the extra layers that the director puts on it. Trying to be artistic and creative and all this shit that to me just takes me out of the experience because I want to be grounded in this moment and be with the character. Let me be with the character. He's not going to be in that room hearing little music and sound design. So why are you going to dirty the moment with all that extra superfluous shit that doesn't need to be there? I don't know if it gets better between 3 through 9 or 10, however many episodes there are, but
8, I think.
Episodes 1
8
and 2?
episodes, which I encourage you to watch. Try to if that's really
I'm gonna
bothering
watch
you,
it.
stomach through it. But it is definitely worthwhile.
Because episode 1,
because it's a great story.
Episode 1,
I love it.
Starts off strong. It kind of struggles a little bit at points in the middle, and then it ends really strong. And there was a point there in like towards the 3/5 part of the episode that I got
the Queen of Sheba is
where I'm like,
oh jeez,
where I sat there and I was like, you know what? I'm not sure if I'm feeling this show. But then it gets to then it gets to the end of the episode, and I was like, all right, we're back on track. That's hitting me with plot. It's feeling good. It was coherently told. It feels good again. And then we get into episode 2, and it starts the whole bullshit again. And I'm like, oh, fuck me.
Did you not like that scene? Because for one of my favorite scenes, both in the book and in the TV series, I thought they did a good job. Was that airplane scene with Shadow and Wednesday?
No, I thought the airplane was nice. I thought that was good.
The dialogue was again point on. The funny thing is, and
the fight in the bar was nice too. Dealing.
Oh yeah, that's
it's all those little moments
right out of the book.
Those are the moments that you can tell come from the book, because
you can tell. That's what I was gonna say. That's
those
from
strong
the book.
moments. But then,
like
in episode 2,
I remember that I'm a leprechaun, and they just get to that fight. Oh,
but
God.
then in episode 2 with the Russians, you've got the moment where it's like this is coming out of the book, but it's being layered upon by pretentious douchebaggery, and that bothers me. I'm like, you should be following the source material, and you should be admiring it. You shouldn't be trying to jizz on top of it.
It did in the whole display checkers. If I win, I bash you in the head. I mean that is from the book, but I know what you're talking about. That superfluous stuff on top of it, which again, it didn't affect me. I will recruit myself and recuse whatever. I will. Sorry, I'm on vodka number 2. It's good, yes.
The glove don't fit. You ain't done shit.
But again, I'm here watching it with freaking rose-tinted glasses, just happy with a big smile on my face, seeing this.
Of course,
one of my favorite books going on. But Danny, you liked the series, but you did not read the book.
Right.
Your take on it?
I like everything about it. I like the story. I like the style, because it's the same guy that did Hannibal, and the reason why I like the style in this one more than in Hannibal was because in Hannibal, in the Hannibal TV series, everything that David is describing that he hates about the art and all that stuff, or the style and all that, it was at 200% in the Hannibal series. It just, everything was dragged on and dragged. Great show. I love the show, but I now understand why it was canceled. But yeah,
because people don't like that shit.
But this is one of the reasons. But I liked it, but it was too drawn out. In American Gods, and this is why I like American Gods, and this is why I don't share the same opinion that he has, is because it's significantly toned down compared to Hannibal, compared to the Hannibal series. The Hannibal series had 3 seasons.
So it's like you're saying what you like about American Gods and what you like about Hannibal is what everyone complains about in Dragon Ball Z. Endless episodes of people screaming because they're powering up. That's exactly what Hannibal and American Gods has with this guy's supposed creative style, which is fucking horseshit. It's someone who can't tell a story in a coherent, quick manner. It's like, get to the fucking point. And it's like...
Well, I will say with the thing with American Gods, at least the novel, is that it doesn't get to the point.
But that's okay.
Not until you're too deep into it.
But that's okay, because in the book, it's not getting to the point because you're learning the point. My problem in the show is that you're not getting to the point, nor are you learning the point. Because the guy's spending too much time eating shit showing a close-up of a fucking coffee mug that makes no fucking sense to the show. The book didn't say, now we're going to look at a coffee mug. It's going to be so tight that we could see the bubbles forming on the coffee. That's not what's in the book. So why are you fucking showing me that? Don't show me that.
You know, it's funny because you're describing that scene, but that scene didn't resonate with me in my head. I saw through that. The scenes that to me stick out in that thing are the Belliquist scene, the leprechaun bar fight, the scene on the plane with Wednesday.
Because you were looking forward.
1979 Tehran.
You were looking forward to
Bowie.
seeing those scenes that you remembered from the book. You were looking forward to seeing those, how they transitioned it to the screen. And those resonated with you and they stuck with you. For someone who isn't...
Checkers with Chechnobog.
Someone who hasn't read the book and is just the layman who comes into TV and starts watching, they're not going to sit through that
with a
shit.
dick in your mouth. No, it's funny. It's funny because it's great because like we're seeing a point of view, we're hearing a point of view from somebody who had no influence at all from reading the book and whatever, and just going into the series blind, and then you got hardcore fan over here, myself, who.
But Danny's also a hardcore fan of the director, how he does things with the style and all of that.
You can't legitimately
I don't even care
compare
about the
Dragon
director.
Ball Z's long-winded people yelling with this, because Dragon Ball Z was a Japanese cartoon, and this is a full production.
I believe the term is anime.
Yeah, an anime, whatever.
My analogy was that in American Gods, or again, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, there are moments where there is a point, and it's not getting to the point. The point might be the dialogue that you need to learn about what's going on between these characters. Yeah, it could be drawn out. You might be led on a journey to the point. But there's a lot of bullshit that's put in between. That's where the analogy to Dragon Ball Z comes in, where the point is the fight with the bad guy, and yet it fills in all this extra shit with the charging up, and maybe we'll go to a side story with Oolong, and he's there eating shit with the fucking Pilaf and their crew or something. Who knows? But that's what happens in Dragon Ball, and it pisses you off because you're watching the show and you're like, yes, Goku and Vegeta are going to fight now. Oh, no, wait a second. No, they're not going to fight.
It's a cartoon. Get to the fucking point. This is a fucking TV show that
Get to the fucking point. It doesn't matter.
Not at all. Take your fucking time and tell me the story.
It's not taking his time and telling you the story.
David, I'm going to tell you, keep watching the show, and I'll tell you as somebody who knows what's going to happen because I read the book. It's the whole thing is that there is not. You bitch. No, the whole point is that there's not just one point. So,
and I'm okay with that. It's like you guys
take that as it is.
You don't see what I'm saying. It's like I'm okay with there being multiple.
No. Dave,
and I'm okay with it being drawn out.
You're saying.
I'm not okay with someone putting his own shit on top of it. It's, for example,
you don't care for the superfluous, unnecessary crap. You want to trim.
It's like
the
what
fat.
we talked about last time.
You want to keep to the source material.
It's like we talked about last time with remakes. When is it okay to do a remake? Why the fuck are you doing a remake of something that's good to begin with? You're only going to fuck up something that's already good to begin with. You're not going to make it better. Who the fuck do you think you are? It's like, if you've got source material that's fucking stellar, don't try to make it stellarer because you think you're a fucking badass. You're not an American God. So shut the fuck up, back up, look at the source material, and tell the fucking story as it's told.
How do you know he's not an American God?
Actually, technically, media is an American God. I'm sorry, but technically, media is an American God.
I'm questioning everything.
You're wrong.
De Jolite.
De Jolite?
I'm questioning everything.
Lucille Ball's behind you now.
Yeah. Exactly, showing you her tits.
Oh, God, Gillian Anderson. Good.
Scully?
She has,
heck yeah.
Dude, she's still hot there, man. She's still hot there.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I'd want to see her tits.
She's still pretty. She was in Hannibal too. Oh my gosh, it just dawned on me.
It all goes back to Hannibal.
It all goes back to Hannibal. This is
2.
Hannibal's fault. No, the show. The
Holy
TV
crap,
show.
guys! I just took a look at the time.
Yeah, it's late. Now that I'm done raging out. Thanks for joining us. This has been the Hardcore Casuals Podcast. We're 3 childhood friends whose motto is just good enough. We're hardcore about a variety of topics, but too casual to be experts at any of them. Be sure to join us next time on this journey of mediocrity. I'm David.
I'm Adrian.
I'm Danny.
But I did finish watching The Flash. I can go at length about The Flash.
Excellent. Yes, we can. Yes.
All right. Okay. So
about The Flash.
For the Hardcore Casuals podcast, we're 3 childhood friends who don't give a shit about The Flash. I'm Adrian.
You're one childhood friend who doesn't give a shit about The Flash.
What about when you're horny?
I guess I'll wrap it up then. Thanks for joining us. This has been the Hardcore Casuals Podcast. As Adrian talks over the sign off. We're 3 childhood friends whose motto is just good enough.
Start over.
It's okay, Adrian. We're hardcore about a variety of topics.
Start over. You're
starting
too
casual to be experts at any of them, or stay quiet during the sign off. Be sure to join us next time on this journey of mediocrity. I forgot the rest of it. That's it. I'm done. Thanks for joining us.
Domoarigato gozaimasu for joining us.
I knew you were going to do that.
Words like shit fall from ass.